Now finish this sentence. Our sauce is for people who...
Don't like barbecue sauce.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I got to learn all about this sauce. This is so much fun.
True.
So I got to know, like, I got to try this. I'm like, okay, where in the store is it? Because I got to start trying the sauce. So is that kind of how you created it then? Is you wanted something different than barbecue sauce?
I've never liked barbecue sauce. I'm strictly a ketchup, mustard on my hot dog. Like, don't screw it up with anything else, especially not those harsh barbecue sauce tastes.
Yeah, more like simple and classic.
And I just wanted something plain. And I was down at a national finals rodeo for high school down in the States. And they went, oh, try this barbecue sauce. No, I don't like them. Try it. I don't like them. Do you know what? Just try it. And I went, fine. Like, I literally tried it to get them off my back. And tried it and went, wow, I like that.
Really?
So that was like, okay. But my kids made me nail it down because I said, like, they call me a barbecue sauce snob. Kids, but they called me a snob. And I said, but I'm not, because I try them all. I'll try everybody's out there. And they said, yeah, but you don't like any of them. But that made me think. And why was it I didn't like them? And it's because I don't like a hit of vinegar or a hit of smoke, or I don't like all of these flavor profiles assaulting me.
Welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm Meagan Fettes, and today we have our guest, Laurie Rowe, with us with Jordan Ridge Sauces. I'm so excited to have you here with us. And before we get into the conversation today, I want to do a quick shout out to Main Street Market. They're our sponsor for this show. And if you haven't, you need to come and check them out. They have got 3 different locations: Okotoks, Mahogany, and Strathmore. And in these buildings, in this space, it's chocked filled with incredible businesses. So come and check them out. They're locally owned and they are high value, high quality products. So make sure that you check one of their locations out. So Laurie, welcome.
Good morning.
I'm really excited. Like we've kind of been bantering back and forth already. So this is going to be a really fun episode.
It's all going to be fun.
Right? And that's what it's really all about. We're going to kind of I'm going to throw some questions at you. And like we've talked about, you're more than welcome to throw some back at me. I feel like you might be the first one to do it because you've got like more of that Spitfire kind of energy. And then we're going to get into learning more about you.
Bring it on.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay. So are you more of a recipe follower or let's see what happens?
Hell no. I follow recipes when I have to. But I come from a long line of women that my mother took a cake. It was a date orange cake and turned it into a grapefruit raisin cake.
Oh.
And we still loved it.
Amazing.
But it was the family joke. So I try and follow recipes, but I also kind of veer off quite a bit. But it's hereditary. It's my mother's fault.
Well, there you go. Like you come by it honestly.
Yes.
Well, and at least you've got that awareness and knowledge of how to do that. I feel like myself, because even though like baking was a big thing in our family, I didn't really learn that, how to overcome it. When I don't have an ingredient or something, I'm like, uh-oh. What's close?
Pivot.
Yes. But it's knowing what the pivot can be.
Yeah. Right?
And I feel like you are quite the woman of pivoting. Like you've learned that.
My motto is tuck and roll. It's like the ninja moves, right?
Yeah. Tuck, roll, shake it off, like keep going.
Move on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I dig it. Oh my goodness. We're going to have so much fun. What's always playing in the background when you're cooking or working?
Playing in the background? Dogs.
Oh, how many dogs do you have?
We have 2 mini Australian Shepherds.
Oh my God. I love Australian Shepherd.
They are always in the background because if something moves, then they bark. Or if it's like, stranger danger, it's like, no, I bumped something on the counter. Oh, well, we could protect you from that stranger on that counter. So, yes.
Constant high alert, high energy dogs, right?
Yes, but love you to the moon and back, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And beautiful. Australian Shepherds, there's just something special about their energy. My aunt and uncle had an Australian Shepherd when I was growing up, and I always swore that I would have one day. Because their eyes, like, I don't know what it is about their eyes. They're different than most dogs.
Yes.
They're like just these crystalline, like, colors and bright and loving.
Yes. We got a couple we'll keep for a long time. Yes.
Nice. Well, I can't say anything. I don't have a dog yet. I've got a lot of cats. They don't make as much noise, though.
The kids make up for the dogs. It's okay.
Yes, they do. They really do. What's one thing people always get wrong about you?
Wrong. That I'm a very diplomatic person and that I don't speak my mind, maybe. Maybe that I'm subtle. That's a better way of putting it. People get it wrong that I'm subtle.
See, I would never take you as somebody who's subtle.
I can actually be very professional sometimes.
Well, and I think, I think we're shifting the new, like, what professional is.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the past, it was very stuffy, right? Like, oh, well, you have to show up this way and you have to put this foot forward and whatever else. But now I feel like we're transitioning into more like, well, let's be real.
I think that's a generational thing as well. Because if you look at, kind of morbid, but a celebration of life, where old school, older generation will get dressed up. They will go pull out their suit and their tie, show up early to get a good seat. And then there'll be people that of another generation that will book the time off work. They'll come straight from work, and it's more important that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And both generations are right because that's what they're comfortable in.
Absolutely. And I love that. I never really thought about it that way, but you're right. I think that because as generations progress, right, we're all learning and growing from each other, right? There's nothing right or wrong necessarily, but how can we integrate what each different generation brings forward?
And there's a lot more tolerance and less judgment is what I'm finding. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I know I kind of been sharing that I was away this last week, but one of the things that people were asking, because the company that I was with, there's an upcoming CEO. And so she's a millennial. And so a lot of people were asking her questions like, well, what are you going to do? How do we reach markets that maybe we're not familiar with or used to? And it was just interesting to hear just like how different demographics hear things, what they need differently. And one of the things that she mentioned that I never thought of was with like millennials and I think it's Gen Zs. They want real. They would rather see the mistakes. They would rather see things unpolished. They would rather see all of the messy, whereas the previous generations want things more polished, right, and professional.
Yes. And routine.
Yes.
I want to know that this is what I'm doing and go from there. Where, it's a tuck and roll, and it's not a bad thing.
No, although I am learning as I get older that routine is kind of essential. Doesn't mean that it's going to be the end all be all, but at least to have like the banks, kind of like the river, right?
Structures.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
Ooh, yes.
Doesn't matter whether you're on a special diet, whether you're out for the evening, whether you're hiking a mountain, everything in moderation.
I love that.
It will, because maybe you don't make it to the top of that next mountain, but you've gone far enough and you've gone to where I'm happy right now. And you have to grasp that because you just don't know what's coming down the road at you. So.
Well, absolutely. Totally. And at what cost? I always think of that. Like, so at what cost am I pursuing this? And it's a constant check-in, right? It doesn't need to be like, oh, this is what I decided now, and now I can't go this way or this way. It's let's keep going and then reevaluate.
Absolutely. That's one of the best comments that I heard years and years ago was a cousin of mine. And she said, oh, yeah, we want to have like 5 kids and this and this. And And the older sister who'd already had 2 kids, she said, go to 2 and reevaluate.
I love that because it's true.
It's so true.
Right? It's funny. I think about parenting and I remember like going in as being pregnant and being like, okay, I'm going to do all the things right. Because I had watched a lot of my friends have kids and I was like, okay, learning from them. What did I feel like I could do differently and all these things. And then I always joked once I had my oldest that we're the perfect parent until we have kids.
Yes.
Because then reality smacks us in the face.
Just because you've birthed this child doesn't mean you know what it means, what it wants.
Oh, man.
You don't know why it's crying. Yeah.
And it's a constant learning.
Yeah.
A constant pivoting.
Yes.
Right?
It's your turn with the baby.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's parenting. It's like, I feel like that's like the best personal growth anybody could ever do.
I am so proud of my daughters. I have 2 of them and I have 2 grandsons. And I am incredibly proud on where they've come. You try and it's that thing where you try and make them strong, independent women, but still phone me every day or 2, okay?
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like you have that kind of relationship with your daughters.
Yeah, they're cool.
Which my mom always reminds me that when your kids want to hang out with you when they're adults, then you know you've done a great job.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Right now, I'm in the stage where it's very messy and I get a lot of I hate you moms, which I'm like, oh, well, welcome to the club. I guess I'm doing my job.
Mine's get in line. Makes them think sometimes.
Yes. Well, and it's funny because you don't realize the things that you say, right, to your kids. And I must say, because I always tell them, I'm not meant to be your friend right now. My job is to be your mom.
Point.
When you're 18 and you're out of my house, then we can be friends. And so I must say that a lot because I sat down with my oldest a couple weeks ago and I said something. He goes, I know, Mom, you're not meant to be my friend. Okay, well, at least you're listening, I guess.
It's coming through loud and clear.
Yeah.
That this is the time frame that we're in right now. So
totally.
Yeah, pivot.
Oh, I know. I feel like we're going to get into a lot of the pivots here when we get into more about your story and stuff behind your business. Okay, so I got a couple more questions and then we're going to go into rapid fire.
Okay.
What's something simple that brings you a ridiculous amount of joy?
Sitting out on my deck in the middle of February in plus 15 when I've ran away from the office and I'm just out there sitting in the back deck and getting a sunburn on my nose because I feel like I've ran away from school and I'm playing hooky and I'm out in the deck and Mother Nature has just shone on me and said, this is where you need to be.
Oh, I love that. Well, and it's the best time right now to be able to enjoy that.
And the vitamin D, it must be good for me, but
yeah,
it's good for the soul and it lets you recharge a bit. And that's why you have your own business is to be able to go, do you know what? All those emails, all that stuff, they can wait a minute.
Yes.
Just go out, play hooky for a little bit. It's cool.
Well, and at the end of the day, right, you are number one, right? And you have to take care of you.
Except I have 2 Aussies. They're number 1. Okay.
They make it known.
Yes.
Well, and I love that you take that time because I think oftentimes in business ownership, not everybody does, right? And so what was that big learning for you to say, you know what? Yes, this is important, but this is more important.
I think it was making that active decision that this is going to be a business and this is going to grow and it needs to grow sustainably. And because of that sustainability, and because of being a dispatcher that worked nights, you have to have that work-life balance. And there was a lot of times while I was working nights where, helping save the city, where my kids were home having a birthday party or things like that you missed.
Yes.
And yet you knew that you needed to balance that because you do have to work to pay the bills, and yet you do have kids that are growing up more every day. It's kind of forgot the question, but that's okay.
Well, no, I love that. Because it's those moments, right? I think one of the things that I remind myself all the time is, life isn't easy. right? I think we get ourselves in these traps where we think, oh, well, this is easier than this.
Oh,
When
yes.
when really, like, everything is hard and we just have to choose our hard. And I love like those moments, right? And what it sounds like to me is that you saw those moments and you're like, wait a second, what's really important to me?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I shift things so that I can have more of those valuable moments and not miss the things that are really important to me?
I actually didn't hire a lady because I said to her, I'm striving for a work-life balance. I'm striving to put my heart and soul into it when I'm in the office.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not, then I need to be able to actually detach a little bit. And she gave 130%. Her old employer had taken advantage of her. And I really liked her. I saw where all she could be and how she could help Jordan Ridge Sauces. And I said to her, I'm actually not going to offer you the job. And she went, oh. And I said, because I'm striving for this work-life balance. And if I bring you on board, I'm not going to be responsible for you having a heart attack growing my business.
Mm.
And I think that might have been a little bit of an aha moment for her.
Nice.
And the ability to speak that, to be able to articulate that to somebody and not just say, oh, yeah, I'll call you. It was, no, I recognize you could be doing great things for my company, but I also recognize that it's at a price and I'm not willing to pay that.
Yes. And I love that. And being willing to take that stand, right? Like that tough love kind of space where it's needed.
It is. And sometimes people don't realize that that treadmill is only going to get you 4 feet up.
Yeah.
Are you going in there for it to be sustainable? Are you doing this? A short term is fine because you want to get ahead. You want to get, the kids' hockey paid. You want to, if it's for a short term thing and you agree that this is what I'm going to work crazy hours for another week, but I know that we're going to have that week off on a beach somewhere.
Yes.
So something like that is okay, but just get on that treadmill and go. It goes back to that term, Meagan, you're working on your business, not in it. And
Totally.
yeah. So anyways, it's cool. Maybe she might come back and join my company yet. We don't know.
I love that. I feel like, because you've talked a lot about sustainability, right? And I feel like that is one of your biggest values, because not only are you maintaining that for yourself, but you're also hiring based off of that as well.
Absolutely.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
So.
And if they're going to take a chance working for me, then I need to know that I can do this. And we can do this. If you come on board, it's like, we can do this.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. And like all that you've been doing, and we're going to get into this. So let's do the rapid fire, because I want to like dive into like all of the cool things that you're doing, because we're kind of chatting about this.
Yes.
And what really excites me too is like that sustainability piece and how you've been able to like maintain that while having things like just take off in your business. Because I think, and that's a really important message, because I think so many business owners and entrepreneurs feel like they need to hustle. There's that like hustle and grind mentality, when I believe in reality, that comes out of not focusing on the right things, trying to focus on all the things instead of the right things.
True, but that is more of a corporate outlook in my opinion. When you're so busy creating this idea and people are telling you should be doing this or shouldn't be doing this, and when you're in that phase, you've got this idea, and the fact that that idea actually comes to fruition, that you can sell it to somebody, whether it's a product or a skill or a service, to even get it to that point. I think the stats are something like out of 100 ideas, there's only like 1% that's going to move forward. And out of that 1%, there's only going to be 1% of those that are actually going to survive the first year or 2 years.
Yes.
It's horrendous. And yet There's so many great ideas out there.
Well, there is. And I think what often happens, like I say, is there's so many things, like they get in there, right? And I mean, like and maybe you're the same way, but when I got into business, I got into it because I was passionate about it, had that calling, and I was like, okay, and I'm skilled at it. Like, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden you step into this world and there's all of these things that you can do that you got no real idea on how to do them or what is the most important thing to do. And there's all this noise.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Right? And then it's like, it's almost like this like chaotic game board of like, well, pick your own path. There's no clear path.
You're like kicking kings over. Yeah, okay. Just like the chessboard, right?
Yeah. And then it's just like, and I think where it comes into for business owners is what's the first next step? Not all of the things that we need to do. What's the first next step?
Mm-hmm.
Build the foundation.
Oh, yes. Build it strong.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm so jazzed. I'm excited to hear all of the things. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of questions here, quick response. So this is like whatever first comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll apologize in advance.
Yeah. No filter. Like, let's just let it be. I keep saying I want to do more like taboo kind of topics and things like that because I feel like we need to have that on here. So we're similar, I think, in that. So don't.
That's scary.
This could go off the rails very easily. All right. If your sauce had a personality, what is it?
Oh, spicy.
Ooh. All right. What food surprisingly works with your sauce?
Naan bread.
Oh, man. Okay, now I got so many questions. One mistake you made early that taught you the most?
When you double a recipe, you can't actually just take those ingredients and double a kitchen recipe from like a 1 cup to a 4 cup to a 4-gallon pot.
Oh.
You can't.
Interesting.
It's like the old time when you're doubling a recipe, you don't double the salt.
Oh.
So it's a steep learning curve.
Yeah. I feel like there's been like a few things that you've had to do in order to find the right measurements. Interesting. Okay. One ingredient you'll never compromise on.
Maple syrup.
Oh, man. Maple syrup is delicious.
It just, you know what? Maple syrup is a foundation of the country.
It is.
It is.
I mean, it's what we're known for.
Yeah.
Maple syrup and beavers.
Yes. Yes.
If Black Diamond had a flavor, what would it be?
Oh, Black Diamond had a flavor. Chipotle.
Oh, all right. Man, I know. I'm like, try not to get into like, I want to learn more. I like question that. I'm like, okay, but okay, one more. Actually, 2 more. Dream collaboration, local restaurant, food truck, or grocery shelf?
A local collaboration? I would say restaurant because I would like to do food collaborations on wing nights in the area.
Oh.
And when you have good wings and you want to dip them in my sauce, then you got a pretty good match, I think.
Well, yeah, and good wings, when there is a good sauce, is like, you can't get anything better.
Yes.
Okay. Now finish this sentence. Our sauce is for people who
don't like barbecue sauce.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I got to learn all about this sauce. This is so much fun.
True.
So I got to know, like, I got to try this. I'm like, okay, where in the store is it? Because I got to start trying the sauce. So is that kind of how you created it then? Is you wanted something different than barbecue sauce?
I've never liked barbecue sauce. I'm strictly a ketchup, mustard on my hot dog. Like, don't screw it up with anything else, especially not those harsh barbecue sauce tastes.
Yeah, more like simple and classic.
And I just wanted something plain. And I was down at a national finals rodeo for high school down in the States. And they went, oh, try this barbecue sauce. No, I don't like them. Try it. I don't like them. Do you know what? Just try it. And I went, fine. Like, I literally tried it to get them off my back. and tried it and went, wow, I like that.
Really?
So that was like, okay. But my kids made me nail it down because they said, I said, like I try, they call me a barbecue sauce snob. Kids, but they called me a snob. And I said, but I'm not, because I try them all. I'll
Mhm.
try everybody's out there. And they said, yeah, but you don't like any of them. But that made me think. And why was it I didn't like them? And it's because I don't like a hit of vinegar or a hit of smoke, or I don't like all of these flavor profiles assaulting me.
Yeah.
And then I looked. So my nephew is the one that he's a chef, and he said, Aunt Laurie, we have good sauces in our family. So I went back to the recipe book and went, why do I like these? Why are they part of my handwritten recipes? And why am I keeping them around?
Hmm.
And all of them were simple ingredients. They were stuff you had in your fridge, in your pantry, so you could make them easily. They all had a consistent flavor profile, and they were sweet.
Really?
And it's the sweetness that I liked and that consistent flavor. And once I kind of came to that realization, I was like, whew, I'm a barbecue sauce snob. So I kind of own it sometimes.
Well, as you should. I mean, and I love that, because that curiosity, right? That, like, let's lean into this, is usually where the best ideas and thoughts come from.
Mhm.
And so from that space, what made you decide that this is something that you wanted to bring to the world?
I had I wasn't sure what I was going to do. When I retired, it was like, oh, I knew I'd have a business eventually, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I looked into like an M&M's franchise and a few things like that, just seeing what would be a good fit. And one of the things that came out is it was a time my husband had suffered a concussion, and a severe concussion. So he was like down and out for months.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had a ton of time. I had unlimited data on my internet plan, um, and I started doing research and started looking at what it took to take these sauces a little further. Because I started with maple campfire. We originally called it the Canada 150 because of the maple syrup.
Oh,
And then it was my oldest daughter who renamed it Maple Campfire because it's real maple syrup and that hint of campfire smoke.
oh, wow.
So moving along from that, it just felt right. And all of the markets, when farmers markets are an amazing place to do your food tasting. 'Cause
Yes.
if people don't like it and they're throwing it out, before they leave your booth, it's not something that you're going to move on with.
It's like instant market research.
It is. It is. If you take it as research.
Yes.
If it's not, oh, look, Joe really liked my sauces. Yeah, but Joe likes you. Does he like your sauce, or is he being nice?
Hmm.
So going back to my husband's concussion, I had all this time. And so it was like, okay, if I'm going to do something, I need to do it right. And so what all do I need? And so like right from the get-go, I rented a commercial kitchen so that it was the labels were all compliant with nutritional facts tables and allergens and things like this. But one of the smartest things that I did out of that was I spent money I didn't have and went to the San Francisco Fancy Food Show.
Oh.
It was in January. I struck off on my own and said, husband, be good when I'm, good luck with your concussion. I'll be back in a week. He was past that, but what it did is I had specific people that I wanted to go to the courses that they were sending. I went there with my numbers, so I knew what it would cost me, which is a whole friggin' can of worms, trying to price out what your cost per ounce to make this is.
Oh, I can only imagine, because not only are you looking at like all of the ingredients, but then you also got to look at like the labels and the jars and all of the other costs.
And the lids, and are they
Yeah.
the shrink bands, and
distribution probably even like.
It was such a huge thing. But by going down, I took my numbers, I took, a little postcard that I had my sauces, and I booked, it was called Pricing It Right or something. And I don't even remember the guy's name. He makes maraschino cherries that were wonderfully sweet. You put them into drinks.
Oh, yes. I love maraschino cherries.
These
so
ones,
good.
they were so good. They were Bing cherries, I think, but even better.
Yeah.
And I made an appointment with him afterwards. And my takeaway from that, the thing that I took home and kept, is he looked and he said, okay, this is how much it costs you to make it. This is how much you need 30% there for your profit, for all of your expenses moving forward. You're only going to get 4 to 10% profit out of all of this after this. You need to build in a distribution cost. That means your retail will be this, and the customer is going to buy it for this. Yes, you can do it. And the amazing part is his math, like his brain was just going click, click, click. He knew this inside out.
Yes.
He looked at my numbers and just knew and he didn't go, well, if you add on this much percentage and times it by 1.25, you're going to get this. Because that was way over my head. Math and I have never agreed.
Well, and fair. And I mean, like you say, like keep it to what is actually needed and to help you see what you need to be able to see and leave out the rest.
That 10-minute session was years ago, and it has been a really good nugget to keep as a basis.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My brain is like just dancing with joy right now, because it's like that data, right? Like I think that's one thing. And we were kind of talking about the difference between entrepreneurs and business owners before we started filming. And right there, I feel like that's one of like the big differences is the data. Business owners understand the value of that data.
Yes.
Because it's everything, right? How are you going to gain profit if you don't understand the data?
If you don't know how much you're putting into something, how do you know how much you're going to get out of it?
Yes.
And the other thing that along the road, and then you think of, okay, what's my price saturation? So
absolutely.
When you have large barbecue sauce companies that are selling their product at a loss on the shelf so that they can maintain that big lion's share, it's really hard for premium barbecue sauce to nudge their way in there.
Well, yeah, because again, it's like that buyer psychology as well that you have to think about.
Yes.
So interesting. So once you got that data and once you met with that man, because like you say, you use that now all the time.
Yes.
What from there made you decide, okay, this is what I need to do?
It was treating it as a business right from the get-go. At the end of the year, you have your business meeting, and part of you analyze a year and you put it into just a synopsis of what happened, a financial synopsis, and then you do what's your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year game plan. If you don't know exactly where you're going in a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year game plan, how can you manifest it? If you don't know where you're going, how the heck can you tell employees or share it with them or tell Meagan where I want to be in 5 years?
Right? And I want to pause on that for a moment too. Sorry, you were like, I'm just like, oh my God, yes, keep going. Because you're saying all of the things, Laurie. I'm like so jazzed. I feel like that right there is just like a key to success in life in general, right? Like, I think even people in corporate or jobs or whatever, this is something that they miss because they're just kind of floating through life. And not everybody, like some have goals and they have that vision, but I think so many people are just like, things will happen. But it's like,
yes.
But we have the ability to create intention, to create that focus.
Exactly.
And that's when things begin to progress in the direction that we really want versus just kind of hoping and praying that maybe they will.
And that's why you do your intentional purchases. That's why you do demos at certain stores.
Yes.
Because you recognize the store's starting to sell some sauces for you. So, okay, how can we help that store to build it? Another thing that was said to me is you want your shelf, your product on the shelf, you want it 6 inches wide, but you want it 2 feet deep. So you want that 2 feet just to keep moving to the front and selling and refill. It's just like a little conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So those other
Very
big companies can have their 4 feet of space. I want 6 inches, but 2 feet deep.
Amazing. So how did you start deciding then which stores to like start approaching and start selling with?
Some of it, I jumped into both feet. I thought, go big or stay home. And it was such a good idea at the time. And then I was like, oh shit, later. But so my first sale was Father's Day of 2017. Okay, Millerville Market. I'd done my food panels. I'd been to the fancy food show in January that year. Had everything in place. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Okay, so where's the biggest market? Where am I going to see the most amount of people to launch this product?
Yeah.
And Spruce Meadows. Well, they have a Christmas market. I could do that. Oh, Millerville, they have a market, Christmas market. I could do that. Holy man.
Those are 2 really big markets.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Fair. And they're pretty close in timelines or 2, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you were busy.
And because life throws you curveballs, that was when my husband needed some treatment down in Dallas. And so I left my daughter and my best friend to run the Millerville Market, my very first Christmas market ever. And I bailed on them. And I made a comment to my daughter, like, are you sure? Like, there's no contest. I need to be in Dallas with my husband while he's taking this treatment.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-brainer. But are you okay doing this? And she said, Mom, if it was anybody else, I'd be terrified. But I know you've got everything in place. You've got it set up. We just have to follow the directions and away you go. And those 2 markets were such a big success that it was one of those pivot moments. In January, after my Spruce Meadows market, I had a phone call from a lady that said, we're just wondering, we'd like to, we're putting forth a Stampede giveaway for our employees or tenants or something. And I was like, oh, do their company want to do a Stampede giveaway? And I went, oh, okay. She said, are you able to do this? And I said, sure, I can do that. What do you have in mind sort of thing? Well, just one, might do a custom label. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, okay. And then she phoned me back a little later and said, I have to tell you, we have 3 different companies sort of thing. And they have each of our representatives were to bring in one item that they wanted to put forth to the committee to give away as a Stampede giveaway. And she said, and I have to tell you, 2 out of the 3 were your Jordan Ridge sauces.
Really?
And I was like, holy man, that's cool.
That is cool.
And then she said, oh, okay, so, this and this. And I said, oh, well, I guess I should actually ask, like what do you have in mind? She said, well, we've got 3 different sections here and there are apartment buildings downtown. And we would need about 10,900 bottles.
Oh my gosh.
And I went, could you repeat that?
Yeah, just a little bit slower. Let me sit down for a minute.
That was like 8 pallets.
Wow.
Of barbecue sauce.
Wow.
And it was Brookfield Properties downtown, so the Royal Bank building.
Oh, yeah. That's a great connect right there.
I was like, sure, I can do that. And I was like, what have I got myself into now?
Totally.
But I found a co-packer, and we have been together since then. I did everything wrong when I went to find a co-packer, to be exact. But you got to think, I was a company that was like 7 months old.
Yeah.
I'm just me. And all I could think of is that's 40 kitchen days. I don't have 40 kitchen days between now and Stampede.
Totally. Like, that's huge. And what was their deadline to be able to do that? Was it Stampede?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They had to be delivered in June, like the middle of June.
Yeah, so that they could be ready and...
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, February, March, April, May. I don't have enough kitchen days.
So how did you make it all work?
I started phoning to see if I could find an Alberta co-packer. Phone talked to people, and most times co-packers don't do it because they like it. They do it because they're already making their own product in their kitchen, and they have a couple of days left. So they want to fill it by doing one-offs for people. And what I was looking for was somebody to fulfill this order and have extra product so that maybe I can start selling a little bit more rather than, 15 dozen at a time.
Yeah.
In a commercial kitchen. And like I said, I did everything wrong with a co-packer. I Googled best family-run co-packer. And this one came up, Just Perfect Fine Foods. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hit my phone, gave a phone call. The owner answered, one of the owners answered, and I said to him, I have no idea even what I'm asking. This is what I have. I need to know like in a week. And he was like, oh, okay, so we do 350 kilogram batches or 550 kilogram batches. You would need this many batches. And at that point, I was like, kilograms? I do a 4-gallon pot. Like, how many 4-gallon pots do you think we need to make this? And we were talking apples and oranges.
Oh, man, that makes it hard.
It was like that upsizing, right?
Yeah.
So he was so good. He said, do you know what? This is what you need to do. Get your scale, start weighing everything. You know that little bit of garlic powder? I need to know the weight of that garlic powder as best you can.
Oh.
And so I bought the little scale and started doing that, sent him off the thing, and he said, okay, it's going to be about this much to make this for a batch.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I had to learn about shipping and so many things, right? It had to be in like 4 different pallets. And anyways, let's just say that Marcus is wonderful. I'll be with him until I die. He is an amazing man, and his company, he loves what he's doing. He's a 3rd-generation co-packer, and been there, while he got married and his little girl. And
that's amazing.
We just fit together.
Well, and I love this, and I love like listening to your journey because you are a woman that has just like you say, you've jumped in with both feet, which again is, as a business owner, you have to do. You can't be straddling the fence, right? Because I remember I had a person one time in business say, you can't have 1 foot in scarcity and 1 foot in abundance and expect abundance.
Yeah.
You'll always attract scarcity. So I love how you just you jumped in with both feet, and then you've learned along the way because that's what we have to do.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to cover, we're going to start wrapping things up, but you shared something really exciting with me. Now, are we allowed to talk about it on this?
Yes.
Okay. So
I got the approval last night.
Awesome. Okay. So 2026 has already been a big year for you.
Yes.
And so you've got some big things coming up. So what are these big things? Let's share with everybody what's coming up for you in this year.
Okay. Jordan Ridge sauces have been we've moved into the food service. So we not only supply the Okotoks dogs with all the sweet barbecue sauce on their burgers.
Nice.
We have like a pizza company and a few other things, Pizza Restaurant and a few others that we've been serving to them and shipping off awesome Jordan Ridge sauces to them. And I went to a convention in a trade show in Calgary, and it was where all of these cool people came and you got to actually talk about your product.
Amazing.
Like, I got to tell them that I had that my sweet jalapeno smells green. And they went, "Oh, wait a minute. We put in green bell peppers so it would smell green, so you get the whole ambiance."
Yeah.
So this is a type of people that liked that aspect to it. And one of them said, "Oh, yeah, we'd be interested." And I went, "Oh, okay, don't want to leave a card. No, we'll call you. Don't call me, I'll call you." And I was like, "Yeah, right." Well, he was from the Western Canada Costco roadshows. And he called me.
Amazing.
I was like, "Wait a minute, you're on my don't call me, I'll call you list." And he called me.
That's huge.
So we are booked to do Costco roadshows starting in the end of April in Abbotsford, Red Deer, Lethbridge, and then wrap it up in Cetina the last couple of weeks of June, 2026. And then again, one of those seemed like a good idea at the time. I got an email yesterday that I have been offered a chance to audition to the producers of Dragon's Den.
Yeah, that is amazing.
I was like, holy crap.
And especially with your track record, I feel like you have that great track record of it working out because you pivot and you take the actions that need to happen in order to see the greatest success possible.
It's pretty cool, these little sauces, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, you're making me hungry even just talking about them.
Oh, wait till we talk food, then you'll really be hungry.
Oh, man. I know. I always joke with like my guests that we need to do like a part 2.
Oh.
Because like we just kind of like scratch the surface into things.
Mhm.
And then I feel like we need to do a part 2 where we can like maybe have like, maybe we can eat, maybe we make stuff and then we like try them all out. I don't know. But
Well, and next month I'm part of the panel Beyond the Recipe. Feed is part of the Alberta AWA, Women in Agribusiness. And they have asked me to be part of a panel down at the Hyatt March 8th. And
amazing.
Beyond the Recipe. What a cool title.
That is a great title. Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So because I'm a big believer of like, okay, so this is great. Now, how do people actually find Jordan Ridge sauces?
They can go on my website. I try really, really hard to keep my stores up to date and current.
Nice.
On the website. You can order online. There's shipping, of course. If you're a wholesaler, pop me off an email and I'll get back to you quick as I can. And AG Foods in Black Diamond if you're local, or
nice.
Safeway and Sobe in Okotoks.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Those are all the places I shop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be looking now.
They're very cool people there.
They are. They're great. We do a lot of shopping at AG actually because we're in Black Diamond quite often. So I love that because it's like a little bit smaller grocery vibe, which I really appreciate. So this has been amazing, Laurie. Like
fun.
Right? I just love your journey and what it is that you're doing. And I can't wait to hear more about all the things that you do. Because you are a woman that I feel like is just jumping in and doing it and making it happen. And so this is really cool. You're changing the game of barbecue sauces.
Hey, because we don't like barbecue sauce. We like Jordan Ridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your tagline. It's going to become like the household name, right?
Yes. I also have, I've been chatting with one of the chefs that, he's a chef and provides food for a large institution that have a lot of kids at it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said to him is, yeah, this would be a really cool account to get. But when I think of all those kids that are leaving home and they're heading off to university or to college or to wherever, to hockey school, they're heading off on their own. And it's this great big world out there. And if we can give them comfort food, if I can give them my sauces, on their meatballs or something, and they go, this is just like my mom used to make it. Do you know what? That's what we're striving to do.
I love that.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
These little sauces.
Yeah. Well, like I say, they're going to make a big difference. So this has been so great, Laurie.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you
It's
for
been
being
fun.
here. Isn't it? I know. And we need to chat about part 2. We'll figure that out.
Oh, okay.
Now, before we close off, I just want to say one more shout out to Main Street Market. They have been our sponsors for the show today. And like I say, you need to come in and check out their stuff because they are filled with great products. And if you don't know some of these businesses in here, you are missing out. So make sure you come and check out one of their 3 locations.